How Kevin De Bruyne proved everyone wrong. Narrator: he was called too slow, too quiet, too weak for the Premier League. Chelsea let him go. Germany embraced him. And then years later, he came back not just to prove them wrong, but to become one of the greatest playmakers of his generation. This is a story of how Kevin De Bruyne proved everyone wrong. Born on June 28, 1991, in the quiet town of Drongen, Belgium, Kevin De Bruyne was never the loudest kid on the pitch. He was shy, reserved, and sometimes even ignored by his teammates. But when he touched the ball, everything changed. At just 6 years old, his right foot already had something special: vision, precision, and control that didn't belong to a child. He joined local club KV Drongen, then moved to Gent Youth Academy. Yet, even there, coaches describe him as distant and lonely. Kevin wasn't the kind of kid to smile much. Football was his only way of speaking. When he was 14, he went to train with Genk, one of Belgium's top academies. But life away from home was hard. He lived with a host family, and because he barely talked, they thought he was unfriendly. At the end of the season, they told him something that would break any kid's heart: "We don't want you to come back." Kevin cried all night, but instead of quitting, he turned that pain into fuel. He promised himself one thing: one day, they'll all know my name. He came back the next season, stronger, faster, sharper, and within 2 years, he was playing for Genk's first team. At 19, he helped Genk win the Belgian Pro League in 2011. Everyone started to notice the quiet boy with the golden right foot. By 2012, European scouts were everywhere. Chelsea, then managed by Andre Villas-Boas, signed him for £7 million. For a young Belgian, joining one of England's biggest clubs felt like a dream. But in London, dreams turned cold fast. He was loaned out to Werder Bremen almost immediately. And even though he performed brilliantly in Germany, 10 goals, 9 assists, when he came back to Chelsea, Jose Mourinho didn't believe in him. In Mourinho's eyes, De Bruyne didn't fight enough. He wasn't loud. He wasn't flashy. He didn't chase every lost ball like a soldier. Kevin started just 2 Premier League games. Then, after a League Cup match against Swindon Town, Mourinho told him he wouldn't get many chances. For Kevin, that was it. He said later, "I felt like I was wasting my time. I needed to play." Chelsea fans barely noticed when he left. In January 2014, De Bruyne signed for Wolfsburg. Many said it was the end of his big club career. They were wrong. In Wolfsburg, Kevin found what he had always needed: freedom. Coach Dieter Hecking gave him the keys to the attack and told him, "Create." And create he did. His vision became his weapon. Long passes, cross-field switches. First time to balls that defenders couldn't read. In the 2014-15 season, he broke the Bundesliga assist record: 21 assists plus 10 goals. He became Germany's Player of the Year, ahead of Arjen Robben and Thomas Muller. Europe was watching again, and this time, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City was listening. August 2015, De Bruyne returned to England, this time for £55 million. Critics said, "Chelsea reject for £55 million? Are City crazy?" But Kevin had a plan. He wasn't there to talk. He was there to rewrite history. Under Manuel Pellegrini first, then under Pep Guardiola, De Bruyne became the heartbeat of Manchester City. Pep once said, "Kevin sees things that others can't. He's a complete midfielder." The passes, the movement, the calm. Within 2 seasons, he led City to 100 points, a record Premier League campaign. De Bruyne's style changed football. He wasn't just a midfielder. He was an architect. With his right foot, he could bend reality. Outside of the boot crosses, inch-perfect through balls, powerful long-range goals. Opponents started double-marking him, but he still found a way. He controlled games without shouting, with precision and intelligence. He wasn't built for chaos. He built order inside it. And while others chase headlines, De Bruyne chased perfection. But greatness always comes with struggle. Between 2018 and 2021, injuries became his biggest enemy. Torn knee ligaments, muscle tears, facial fractures. Each time, he came back earlier than expected, determined not to be forgotten. He once said, "I'm not the guy who gives up. Every time I fall, I get back up stronger." In 2021, he played the Champions League final with a fractured face after a brutal collision with Antonio Rudiger. He left the pitch in tears, broken physically but not mentally. 2022 to 23 season, Manchester City finally conquered Europe. They won the treble: Premier League, FA Cup, and Champions League. For Kevin, it wasn't just a trophy, it was redemption. From a Chelsea reject to the best midfielder in the world. From being unwanted to being irreplaceable. Pep Guardiola said after the final, "He's a player who makes everyone better. When he plays, we all play." De Bruyne became the player every coach dreamed of, and every kid wanted to be. Off the pitch, Kevin is still the quiet kid from Drongen. He doesn't seek attention, doesn't do big drama. He's a family man, humble and direct. When asked about fame, he said, "I just play football. That's all I ever wanted to do." He never needed to be loud. His football speaks for him, and it speaks in every language of the game. Kevin De Bruyne's story isn't about luck. It's about belief, the kind that doesn't shout but endures. He was told he wasn't fast enough. He was told he wasn't strong enough. He was told he wasn't good enough for Chelsea. But through every rejection, he found a new way to rise. He didn't prove them wrong with words. He proved them wrong with brilliance. Narrator: Kevin De Bruyne showed us that greatness doesn't need noise. It doesn't need drama. It only needs consistency, courage, and calm. He turned doubt into dominance, rejection into redemption, and silence into symphony. This is not just a story about football. It's a story about never letting others define your worth. This is how Kevin De Bruyne proved everyone wrong. Sometimes you just need time. Believe in yourself. The rest will follow. Kevin De Bruyne.